Hey, what is up? We are now live and welcome everybody. And hopefully, you had a better week than I did in the finals. My final seems not the best, pretty much as bad of a run as I could. Peppertoni hung on to a little bit, so that's awesome. Congratulations to him. Welcome here, Losimo. And we're going to kind of chill for a minute, letting some people join for now. We're gonna have a little bit of a format today. We're going to first of all we're gonna go to drafters and we're gonna look at historical teams, like the last year, what worked. I'm gonna focus my playoff best ball specifically on drafters this year. I don't really enjoy the underdog format for that as much. I've said that before. I do believe that. And I mean, if we're looking at this board right here, like it seems pretty likely that we're going to get some overlay on this. There are 2,300 entrants so far with 9 days left and 16,000 entrants. I don't know if we're going to get that to fill. So I wasn't planning on doing a lot of the $20 ones, but I will probably next week end up doing several of them if it looks like it's going to overlay. But welcome, Scott. How we doing? If you're just popping in, if you could smash the like, that would be awesome. So we will. I thought I had this up already, but we will go down to. It's already started payout. I don't know if I'm fully paid out yet on drafters or not. I know that a lot of mine has been paid out at least. I believe it's all, and it's like on the my entrance thing. I don't think it's rolled over to not show it there, but it has shown it elsewhere. Is this from last year? Is that too loud, by the way? Is the ducks, are they too loud? I think I just have my headset too loud. Let me know if that is too loud. So history here, contest. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and use timestamps again today. We are at 3 minutes. So at 3 minutes, we start looking at previous winners. And kind of let's see if we can find like a pattern or whatever in what people were doing last year. So this was for the $3 drafters mini best ball play championship. It is total points here. Hey, thank you. Quack, quack. All right, let me see if that's good enough. It also kind of looks like I need to resize this so you guys have better vision. Let me know. I think that looks a little better. So this was the $3 last year. The format, by the way, for drafters is just total points. Every round you get the same amount of points for. They do not have multipliers. At least I do not believe they added that this year. We will go ahead and double check that. So site rules and scoring. Apparently I can't just look at that. Okay. So where is NFL playoffs? All right, so you do have limits apparently, and I believe you can change those as well. I don't see anything different. I'm fairly positive that it is the same exact scoring per week. And I guess we can just look at that on this historical tab. What's up, Cards? How we doing? All right, so the team that won last year, that can't be right. Okay, there we go. The team that won last year. All right, so this was D. Schmidt here. And kind of like what I was talking about before, I bet we see a lot of Washington. Washington scored a bunch of points. They were very useful as an advance rate team. And in drafters, you do need as many points in week one as you do at the Super Bowl. So it does matter a little bit. So at the very first team, the team that won, Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes did have the bye last year, so you needed to either way. Something I messed up yesterday. And then Saquon for the Super Bowl matchup. If it was KC, Robinson to go with Jaden Daniels. P. Ryan was on KC. And then 1, 2, 3 Chiefs. Only 2. He had exactly enough players to get to the Super Bowl and start with a flex there, right? Plus P. Ryan. So then you need a Nico Collins a little bit because if you go to round 1, are we not going to go to round 1? Hey, well, thank you for popping in and saying hi. I'm gonna still do some stuff, I think, every day, and I'm gonna start working. Like, I'm gonna definitely do weeklies and stuff still. And I'll probably do a few of the weekly playoff contests as well. I'll take the week or two off probably after the week before a conference championship, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So they have one advance rate piece here with Nico Collins, and another one with Cortland Sutton. For some reason, it's not moving the points like it's supposed to. Why is it not doing? If I go to my team, will it do that? So this is my team. I ended up getting 28th. No, for some reason, it's not allowing me to search this week by week. So this team got 28th. It was Hurts, Barkley, Pacheco as a piece for KC, Worthy as a piece for KC, and then it was Dallas Goedert as one of the only other Eagles. So it just had Hurts, Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and the advance rate pieces. It has it has Watson. It has Pickens here as an advance rate piece or a first round point getting piece, right? He was basically free last year. Terry McLaurin, the same kind of thing. The further you go down, you're going to see a lot of Jaden Daniels for me. This team was my best chance to actually win money last year. If they got to the Super Bowl, I was basically almost a shoe-in. If it turned out to be the other two NFC Championship games won, I had an entire squad, and I think I was one of the only ones in the scenario that did. But we'll look at the second lineup here. It's going to look very, very similar to the top one. As you see, it has Kyron Williams versus Brian Robinson there. Kareem Hunt versus P. Ryan. Different wide receivers completely. It did have Kelsey. Kelsey was kind of needed last year for sure. But you see how there's a lot different. Pickens is here. Pickens had a really good week 1. which you needed. I believe Zacchaeus actually done a little bit as well in the early playoff game. And once again, the Washington advance rate all the way through. So you want to get a second team that gets to you basically want three, it kind of looks like you want a focus of three teams, right? Whatever to get to the Super Bowl and a third to give you like another championship route, and then a couple advance rate pieces. That those first two teams both kind of had that same structure. Third place team, basically the same here. Mahomes, Daniels, got the Gainwell there as an advance rate piece, Puka as an advance rate piece, Sutton. So there's those three. Basically the same exact kind of thing here, where it's Mahomes plus Worthy. Weirdly didn't have Kelsey on this team, but they had Nakua and Cortland Sutton and McLaurin all to get points throughout the contest. Fourth place team, you guys see a lot of the same thing. We'll go down until we see a non-Jaden Daniels team. So the sixth place team, you got Mahomes and Baker. Baker, I think he had a lot of points in the first game. I can't remember though. Joe Mixon, just as a loose piece there, he did go heavily into the Texans, and the Texans won a game, right? So Nico Collins, although he scored less than Ladd in the first week because Ladd went for 199 in the touchdown, Nico still had, I think, he had more total points throughout the contest than Ladd did, because he had two pretty solid games. It doesn't show the playoffs, like how that is as unuseful as possible for anybody who's watching. So he has the advance rate piece correlated with Mike Evans, with Nico and Cup. So it kind of makes sense what all of these teams are doing. They are the things everybody pretty much talks about. And you have to hit on the right ones, right? You have to get the right players. This team got there, and they didn't even have enough players to play in the Super Bowl, and they still finished in 8th place because they had the right players. They had the Jalen Hurts, they had the Saquon Barkley, they had Jaden Daniels, who had massive scores the first 2 weeks, I believe. Worthy, who dominated in the Super Bowl, and then between Shakir, McLaurin, Sutton, and Zacchaeus, they had a lot of points at wide receiver throughout the contest. But those are the things that, what I believed is kind of exactly what I'm seeing here by looking through it. We will look at the higher dollar contest. I'm sure the teams are very, very similar, though. I didn't do near as well in this one. The Doc got first in this, and as expected, it's basically the same team that won the other one. It's got the AJ, it's got Worthy, it's got Nico as the best pick on the board for just pure points in the first couple of rounds. So you do need to have an off piece or two. I think that's pretty obvious in this situation, especially over here on Drafters. We are joining the draft, though. We're doing the $3 mini for anybody who wants to join. Let's go ahead. I just wanted to give a quick overview of that to see what is different, or what we could actually learn from it, to see if my original thoughts were correct or not. I do think that it, even more than on Underdog, where you do need the advance rate piece. It's mostly about getting the right pieces to the Super Bowl. You just need to make sure you get points to the Super Bowl, but you could theoretically get to the Super Bowl with less pieces and still score nearly as many points. And if you had the best round one pieces, you're just gonna score more overall points. There are other formats like on FFPC to where it's weighed more towards getting the right pieces in the Super Bowl correct, because it scales the value of the points. On drafters, it does not scale the value of the points. So it's more about just getting the best possible games overall. And if you're just popping in, if you could smash a like, I would appreciate it. We got the 106. This is the only place where I'm probably going to take any Bills. And I'm only going to take Bills here if it ends up being a Josh Allen plus James Cook team. I just don't see a world in where a non-Josh Allen James Cook team is what gets there with the Bills. They both have to have good games for them to even get to the Super Bowl, for sure. Like they will both have to have good games. And I just, there's going to be enough of those teams out there that, in my opinion, if you don't get the Josh Allen James Cook combination on drafters, you might as well just assume that if that's what you need, you're probably gone if you want to build out Bills. Now, if you want to take just a James Cook or just a Josh Allen as an advance rate, that is perfectly fine as well. Because I do think that there is a world in which taking, like, if you think the Bills are going to play 3 games, get to the conference championship, Josh Allen could easily be the top scoring quarterback all 3 weeks, and they not make the Super Bowl. And if that nets you another 25 points because he goes off one of those games, and then he's like quarterback 2 by a single point the next 2 weeks, and the other week he has 35-40 points, like that is absolutely worth the pick. And by the way, we have Lutz here at the 2. I'm not sure if Corey's listening. I know they have in the past, but welcome, Corey, if you are. Thank you. So we got James Cook here. Lutz is not afraid. I do think James Cook as a solo, like just an advanced rate piece, is also really awesome. But I will not be taking Josh Allen at all in this situation. And if it beats me, I lose. It's fine. I think we're going to do the common thing here. We're just going to take the 2 Rams. And then we won't get Matt Stafford because Stafford always goes to the Puka drafter. And I might just play this as the Rams get to the championship game and we get 3 games out of them. And those 2 pieces are the advance rate or the total point things that I do need. Lutz pulls off the James Cook, Josh Allen there. That's awesome. Like I am going to mix in some James Cook early like that, because I do think that the community as a whole will kind of come to the opinion that I have, the opinion that, like, on the other side's the sidekick has came to where you take James Cook, and if you get Josh Allen back, you take him. If you don't, you just don't worry about it. You just go with the quarterback elsewhere, right? And if you want to build out Bills, you still can. I would much rather lose out on the Josh Allen piece if I'm going to bet on the Bills than the James Cook piece, for sure. I just think that in the total point, like on underdog, that makes a lot of sense because all the money is won in the last week. So there's a lot better chance that James Cook, I don't know. Like, it's so hard to figure out which Bills piece you're going to need other than Josh Allen, right? So in that format, I don't like it as much. Like, it's probably better because you're just taking shots on, is it Brandon Cooks, right? Now, I think Brandon Cooks has kind of shown that he's going to be a pivotal piece for them. So there is that for sure. So how's everybody doing today? I spent my whole morning listening to the end of a book. I had 7 hours left on Audibles for the book. It was 25 hours long. and I was like, I'm just gonna listen to the rest of this. That's all I've done today. I cooked and ate and then listened to the book. That is all I have allowed myself to do. So what do we want to do here? I think we want Jennings and Purdy here. And then we will, like, we're using those two as just points. And then hopefully whenever it all comes down, San Francisco gets the 1 seed. I guess in this scenario, San Francisco would be the 5 seed and the Rams would be the 6 seed, and they wouldn't play each other until the Super Bowl, which would mean Seattle wins next week or this upcoming week, right? So if Seattle wins this upcoming week, this could easily be the conference championship game. So now that we know that that's what we're shooting for, now we need to get something on the AFC side or another piece or two for the 49ers. Ricky Pearsall goes. That kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping for him for sure. I think with this team, we have to lean into a team I'm not super into doing a lot. In the Chargers. With the Chargers, we could like always end up going last round like Will Dissly if we have to get something for the Super Bowl. So we're going to go ahead and take him. Herbert is down the board a little bit. We'll go ahead and take Ladd. And then on the way back around, hopefully we can get Justin Herbert. We got to make sure to not limit ourselves this time. I messed up yesterday whenever I did the draft. I got somebody took Caleb, who I was like gunning for, and I just completely, my mind blanked, and that team's dead if the Broncos end up with the 1 seed. So, which I think is like, if the Broncos end up losing this week and the Chargers do have something to play for, right? I don't know how hard they're going to try, but they do have something to play for. We'll start getting that information throughout the week. All right, so Lutz, Josh Allen, James Cook, Devonta Smith, Shakir, Swift, and Corum. Yeah, I like this a lot. You got the 3 Bills. I'm not as sold on the Bills, and it does scare me a little bit, which is one reason why I don't want to do as many drafts this year as I did last year for the playoff stuff. Like even last year, I thought I preferred this structure a little more, so I did a lot more of these than I did over on Underdog, and I also had a lot more success here. But I also was very in on the right wildcard team to get to the finals, because I had a very big portion of Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. So like that helped. Being on the right wildcard team to get to the conference championship does matter in this style. If you want to make a stand instead of spreading out your shots, right? All right, so we got Gadsden's way down there. I think I... Hey, what's up, Hulk? How we doing? And then... Yeah, I think we just go ahead and take a share or two of Derrick Henry as well, in case they end up getting to the Super Bowl. And yeah, we'll take Herbert here. Yeah, I'm gonna start up that stuff, I think, tomorrow morning. I was finishing up that book because if I didn't finish up, like I said a little bit ago, I listened to a book for 7 hours today while walking around doing little things around the house to finish it. That way, I have to complete something before I start something new, and I'm gonna start some of that stuff, I think, tomorrow, like preparation stuff. Like downloading the 17-week data files and like starting to sort through things a little bit. I haven't decided if I want to. I don't think I want to include week 18 in my dump. So, but I will start that tomorrow. I mean, I will value it in the games that it matters. But I will separate it as well, because not all the games, like not all the players are going to have like full games there, and it messes with, like, let's say that they play a half, but the only reason they're playing a half is because their seeding won't matter and they're just trying to keep them healthy. It wasn't a they dominate kind of situation. That's going to skew all the stats, and my favorite stat is points per game. Like fantasy points per game, right? Like I really like the fantasy points per game. I think that gives you the best view of what's actually going on. All right, so I definitely need wide receivers from here on out. So having Pearsall taken there really does hurt. Like, it hurts a lot. So I have 4 more picks. I need 2 tight ends. And so we're definitely going to go ahead and take Gadsden with one of them. Definitely want Gadsden. And what else do I want? I think QJ and Gadsden are the right calls here. That gives me a full stack here. We got Herbert, we got QJ, we got Gadsden, we got McConkey, and we got Hampton. So we have a full Chargers. So like this opens us up to the full LA Super Bowl as well, which I wasn't planning on doing, but it makes a lot of sense. Now I'm open to taking anything I want at the end here. I don't like how this set up. There we go. It's funny because there are some week 18 stuff. Yeah, there really was. A lot more than usual. Tried and true scoring fantasy points correlates to continuing. Yeah, like I'm not gonna deny the fact that I semi-faded Henry. Like I had like 2.9% or something. It was low. The reason I wanted it was because I was a fool, basically. I was a believer in Brian Thomas Jr. I was a big believer in Brian Thomas Jr. And that was a horrific spot to be. Like just all around, just horrible spot to be was to be in on BTJ this year. And the fact that I had like 14.5% of him, and I used that like I use Derrick Henry as an excuse to get to that point. Like it, and this is like week 17 aside, he was still a solid pick. Like he wasn't a league winner until the last week, right? But like he was a very good pick. Like he wasn't going to hurt you that much. I mean, at this point, I kind of need to take an NFC piece, right? Well, I guess if I take Flowers, that opens. No, that doesn't really work either. Basically, need to have an NFC piece. We're gonna do the player that they just took was what I was wanting to do. We're gonna take Tonjes. This contest may close reasonably soon, and well, like Dobbs, Evans, Cooks. Could just take Bourne or Demarcus Robinson. We'll take Dobbs. We'll just take Romeo Dobbs. So the team, we have Brock Purdy and Justin Herbert, Kyren Williams, Hampton, and Derrick Henry. We have Devontae Adams, Juwan Jennings, Ladd McConkey, QJ, Dobbs, and then Aronde Gadsden and Jake Tonjes. So I could have built this a little better. I have enough. Like with that last pick, I had a choice between Dobbs or like Zay Flowers. If I would have taken Zay Flowers, it would have given me a second San Francisco Super Bowl. So I basically needed to lean into the less likely Justin Herbert, like just dominating thing. With Hampton, Herbert, Ladd, QJ, and Gadsden, with like Dobbs being a solo piece or just an advance rate piece to get the right connection there, which would be like, I think best case scenario for this team would be the full LA Super Bowl. The San Francisco Super Bowl, though, like I limited myself to only being the Chargers with that last pick. So I could have given myself more options, but I like for Super Bowls. But I think in this contest, if you don't like, I think you need just a good points play in the first couple rounds on top of getting the Super Bowl correct. So I do think that like maximizing the point, like the amount of Super Bowls you have, gives you the best chance to get your base money back. But to win the whole thing, taking the rando here, which number one gives me an extra Super Bowl on this side, but number two, like, and most likely Romeo Dobbs just randomly has 17, 18 point games all the time. And that could absolutely matter if he has an 18-point game in week one when all the other wide receivers just like if they mostly flop like that, it could be a really big deal. Like if all of the non-early round wide receivers flop, right? So that's my team. We're going to look at Lutz, Josh Allen, James Cook, Caleb. Like this is the exact Bills team I would build because I'm fully in on the Bears being underrated. So I love this as a team. Getting Josh Allen at 9 feels awesome. Devonta Smith, Shakir, DJ Moore, Luther Burden. Yeah, I really like this. He's got full, like a gigantic game from both sides. The Brandon Cooks pick, I think, is fantastic right now. He's got that whole game stack there. He's got Caleb Williams also there. The only, like, he doesn't have a second Super Bowl with the Bills or he has to have the Bills get there because he doesn't have an AFC piece that's non-Buffalo, which is fine. Like, I think if it were me, and this is a really, really good team. I would have liked a single, like, other AFC piece on this team. But it's very well, and like using Devonta Smith as just a pure advance rate piece, but it could be a Super Bowl because he has full Bills. Like this is basically exactly what I done as well. So I really like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's go to do another one. We're joining right now. Oh, instant fills. All right, so licking my wounds, being directionally accurate. Luther Burden, my most drafted player on DK. Yeah, he was like my number 3. I was kind of out on him for the most part on underdog until he fell to like round 11, where I thought he should be going. And then I got overweight. But whenever he was going in like round 9, I didn't love it, and I mean, maybe I was just wrong. Okay. What's your name on here? Did I not look at your team? By the way, we got Brought here at the 102. Brought last year, I think he either got first or second. I think he won $5,000 in one of these contests last year. I got the 103. And Brought and I last year did a lot of discussing behind the scenes on what to do in these contests. And I ended up like 3xing my money, and he won 5K. So, well, look who it is. I haven't seen any. Okay, you're JMJR. Got it. I do think that JSN should possibly, like, if he gets the 1 seed, I do think he should probably drop a little bit. And this is something else I kind of feel. I kind of think CMC is the 101, not Puka, for 2 reasons. Number 1, because if they get the home field advantage, like, I kind of like their chances. Nobody's been able to come close to stopping them. I know they can't stop anybody else, but I'm kind of in on the Niners right now to get to the Super Bowl. And number 2, because Kyron and Adams kind of go on the other side of the board all the time, like it's so unlikely to get these pairings that people were getting earlier on the contest with Nakua, because when Puka's always been the 101, right? But like Adams would slip sometimes to come back when this contest kind of opened. So I personally like CMC there for that. Hey, if you read the question, it said of the choices, sir. So if you read the actual poll, you will see that was already covered, because on the poll, you're only allowed to have 4 options. I would put all 7 there if I could. We can only put 4 up there. That's why all polls all the time are 4 options, is because we can only put 4 options there. Just so you're aware. I'm not like as down on the Patriots as other people are either this year. We'll just go ahead and do the thing everybody does right here. And I will get different at the end of this draft, I think. If you're just popping in, if you can smash the like, I would massively appreciate it. Yeah, and yeah, on DraftKings he fell over and over and over and over again. And I haven't looked at any news at all today. So I will be up on that stuff tomorrow. Whenever I stream tomorrow, I will definitely be up on all that stuff. And then on Thursday, because I will still stream tomorrow, even though it's New Year's. My festivities won't start till a couple hours later, so I will stream at my normal time, and then the next day I will probably be looking at the weekly stuff. Hopefully we have a little information. I may not be drafting it yet, but I'll definitely be looking into it. What's up, Mufasa? I hope you had a better best ball season than I did. Lutz here, by the way. Congratulations to Lutz. We're gonna look at Lutz's team after this. By the way, you finished what, like 9th, 8th, 9th in the main? It was up there. I know you fell a little bit with the Bijan nonsense, but like you still had an amazing showing. Like you lost a little bit of money on that game, but like you had an awesome showing for the year. So this guy here just takes the Steph Diggs from me. Like I'm not super excited about that. We'll go ahead and take Jennings, I think. No, we'll take Devonta Smith. Yeah, we'll do that. What's up? How we doing, Pepper Tony and Aaron Sandy? Thank you for popping in. Yeah, I pretty much got blanked, and week 17 went about as poorly as it could have. And for me, like, I needed Josh Jacobs to get more than 0.8 points to have any real chance at anything. And, well, he didn't. He had 4 carries. So, and congratulations to Pepper Tony here, who I believe he held up and got 2nd and 3rd in the 4th quarter, which is phenomenal stuff. Had a Husky in a flock, went 21st to 50th in the Husky after Monday's game. Yeah, I had a flock 3, a flock 5, a poodle, and 3 4th quarters. And I had a sprint that went into the week averaging 170 points a week. And the sprint team, Drake London couldn't beat 3.8 points to advance above. Like, I think I only got like 84 points out of that team this week. So like that team completely died. The poodle, I put up 100 and I ended up at 101. Like the Monday night game put me 1 point under, like is 0.2 points away from an extra $100 at the very end of the game on an Algier carry, I believe. And I had Pickham's in on Algier to hit his overs. And he got just enough yards to knock me down and tear me out of $100, and not enough yards to win me the $90 on the Pick'em. So that's how my night went. Like exactly what I didn't need, basically. All right, so I mean, I think we just take Kenneth Walker here. Hopefully, like with this, we could have 2 1 seeds and this team be completely dead, or we could have both. Like most likely, New England is the 2 seed, not the 1 seed, but there is a chance. And I mean, I might as well. We'll wait on that. What else do we have here? We're just going to take Ladd as an advance rate piece there. If Darnold makes it back, we take him. If Booty, and then like Booty would be a fine pick as well. You ended up, yeah, 8th and 14th in rookie and sophomore, 3rd in the Little Dalmatian, 29th in the Puppy, 2nd and 3rd. It did pay to be a Ravens fan this year. Like Zay Flowers even had a pretty solid finals week as well. But yeah, Peppertoni absolutely smashed in the finals. Congratulations to him. I think, yeah, this game is beatable. I mean, that is the only thing that I learned this year, is that this game is definitely beatable. Yeah, like, I believe if Puka scored 23 points, he got first in the Little Dalmatian. But I do think that cost him a couple spots on the... I know it would still have been more money, but it would have definitely not had him at 2nd and 3rd. If I remember looking at... I just kind of glanced at it all, and that's what it kind of looked like from afar. I mean, we could take Shaheed here. I feel like single quarterback is the move to win it all. If you have BBMDB and you go and you look at the Poodle, and then you look at the 4th place team, they were a single quarterback Caleb Williams team. They got 4th place. They won $10,000. That was actually somebody who, it's a friend of the channel. It's Jalapeno Jenkins. If anybody knows him, he's a friend of Mitch, Sean Mitchell. He's in his chats all the time. He's a good dude. I'm hoping to be able to ask him why he decided to go solo quarterback. I'm assuming it was a mistake. Always, right? Just always. And he wasn't like 100% drafted. And he won't be next year either. All right, so this team, we have Drake May, we have Sam Darnold. We have both running backs there. So we're fully into these games. Like, if I get AJ Barner, we're pretty locked in to being able to kind of do whatever we want elsewhere, and just kind of have, because that'll be a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end for both of those teams. So I'll be able to just kind of scatter shot elsewhere and be able to get multiple. Like, that would allow me to get to multiple different Super Bowls there. My RBs didn't do dick this week and cost. Yeah, I know that you fell pretty far, and Justin Herzig like shot way up the ranks with the Bijan stuff. Because he ended up at 2nd. DJ Quill also fell down the ranks quite a bit, and hers as well. So, like, the Who crew on Drafters had a bad day. Brought there was with a perfect run out, could have got 2nd in the Superflex and ended up somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where he ended up. I didn't end up with the top 100 team in Drafters. I had a couple top 200 teams this year, though. I was reasonably close to a top. I think I was like 123 in Superflex or something. And I had a team that was really, really good, but ended the season with only Jonathan Taylor, LeQuint Allen, and Bijan as my healthy running backs. And let me tell you, that's not a good combination to have just those guys available. So taking Bird in there is to allow myself. I guess I need another running back, really. Charbonnet also went. So we're just going to take a random running back who could end up doing something here. And I think Kyle Menunga is the guy. That'll get us into that a little bit. You ended up getting 8th. Got it. So want to thank everybody who's come out and hit the like. We got 15 watching. We got 15 likes. That's awesome. That feels really good. We got but yeah, this team, I think Menunga is the right pick here. We got Drake May, Sam Darnold. We got both. We didn't end up getting Stephon Diggs, which does feel bad. But we got Travion Henderson, Walker, and Menunga. Wide receivers, JSN, Devonta Smith, Ladd McConkey, Kayshon Boutte, Luther Burden. And then tight end, Hunter Henry and AJ Barner. So in this, we need 1 week to where Drake May throws a long touchdown pass to Boutte and Henry. Diggs isn't ever really super useful. And Sam Darnold and JSN just dominate all the way through. And that Drake May might throw some passes to Hendo there. We did it, chat. Did James Cook get injured versus Eagle, or was it just his pride bone? He seemed to be subbed out every third down. Like every single third down, he seemed to be pulled out. All right, Brought here has Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Travis Etienne, Henry, B-Rob. B-Rob was like the other option other than Menunga I was looking at. Puka, Juwan Jennings, Jacoby, Flowers. He goes 3 tight ends instead of 5 wide receivers. I'll look at that and see why. Kittle, Strange, and Andrews. So fully in on a AFC Championship game there, and that being a Super Bowl with the Niners, it looks like. So because it all does make sense. Fully going in on that. I think personally, and I mean, he won more than I did last year, but personally, I think I would have, instead of Andrews, taken another wide receiver there with the better upside. And because if the Niners don't get to the Super Bowl, you're already dead. So that allows the George Kittle to actually play for you. And I think the overall points you would get for another wide receiver. Well, let's look and see what wide receivers went around there. I guess it doesn't really matter. Like the difference between Andrews, Dunze, Jaden Higgins, Metcalf, Burden are pretty negligible. So, yeah, it makes sense. I think I would have leaned the wide receiver, but I don't think there's a right or wrong decision there. All right, joining another one right now. It looks like they're still trickling in money, by the way. We did it, chat. What did we do? If the Rams make the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, you had Puka. Yeah, that's right. Okay. No, that's right. Yeah, that makes total sense. I forgot the Puka was up there at the top. That's my bad. Yeah, no. That was the right decision. That was the right decision for sure. All right, we got who was it that just said they were JMR? That was Losimo. Okay. And then we got Brought here at the 106. I am the Kai. Welcome at the 104. Eagles been crushing every contest all year at the 101. I'm sure it will. What's up, Kai? How we doing? Thanks for popping in. I don't know what they're doing over there. Like I say, I'm going to do my playoff best ball on drafters. I prefer their playoff contest a little better. And by the way, if you're new to the channel or new to drafters and you don't have an account, you can use promo code WHO, capital H, two little O's, for a 100% deposit match for up to $100. But yeah, I do kind of think, I mean, Puka is the best player, or CMC. I'm going to lean CMC at the 101 myself. Man, I guess we just keep taking JSN, right? Like, I don't know what I like after those two players. I have a very big teardrop after CMC and Puka to JSN. I think the Rams are the most likely team to get the Super Bowl, and I think that if it's not the Rams, it's probably the Niners. And like, the thing about CMC as well is if you have CMC, you probably only need 2 running backs. Like, it gains you an extra dart to throw at wide receiver or tight end or quarterback to get you advance rate points, because like CMC just puts up like 20 plus points every single week. He's had 2 weeks under 20 points recently, but like throughout the year, he just very, very rarely goes under 20. I will take whichever Ram is available, I think. Yeah, we will absolutely take Devontae Adams here. Who's the GOAT? Who is the GOAT? Who are we talking about? Oh yeah, CMC. Absolutely. Like I would never do it, but if somebody went only CMC, I think that's a fine thing to do. Like, I would never do it, and I would never recommend anybody else do it, but I think that that's perfectly fine. If you were to do that with Travis Etienne, I would think you were absolutely crazy. With CMC, like, I don't think it's optimal, but like, I could at least hear an argument for it. Eagles over there looks like he's wanting to get Matt Stafford all the way back. I have some news for him. That is not happening. Matt Stafford is not making it all the way back. Like, no matter what, like, I am not going to allow that to happen. Number one, because I have Adams, but number two, because I also think that they're going to make the Super Bowl. That's just too late. Like, Stafford's going to play all 3 weeks or all 4 weeks if they get to the Super Bowl, right? I think that their odds of getting to the Super Bowl are very, very high. The betting odds, by the way, would absolutely agree with it. And it is absolutely not protecting the integrity of the contest. It's more that it makes sense for my team. We have the JSN advance rate piece. We have the stack there. I'm personally very into Terrence Ferguson as a piece to move on with, for sure. And I can also take Blake Corum here. So, like, I'm fully in on this. Like, I'll have a piece at all positions whenever I do reach down to take Terrence Ferguson. I haven't even looked to see where he goes. I'm assuming he's, like, barely drafted, yeah. So, like, I think we're seeing that he's becoming a good piece of the offense. And if I don't get him, like, I don't mind just taking Colby Parkinson either. Like, I will have more. I'm assuming Parkinson is drafted. Yeah, he's drafted way earlier. I prefer Ferguson. They've been grooming him slowly, and every week he gets an open look down the field. Every single week that has happened for the last several weeks. All right, so we're not going to mess around. We're just going to take Lawrence here. Yeah, it's got it. Like, if Jarquez Hunter is what you need in fantasy playoffs, I'm going to be one upset dude. Like, I had so much Jarquez, like so much, and all for naught. All right, so we're just going to take Parker Washington here. For whatever reason, he just seems to be the guy Lawrence loves. So we're going to do that. And that's going to open us up to, if we take Strange and Adams, or Strange and Ferguson, we will be really good there for whatever route we want to go. And we could just take best player available the rest of the draft and set ourselves up for whatever Super Bowls we draft. And like, I do think that there's a major advantage waiting until next week, because if you think you can predict what the matchups are going to be, if you do a decent job at being able to figure that out, Britton Strange does go. I don't really want Colby Parkinson. Do we just take Sharps here? Yeah. We ended up taking Woody. That's fine. I think I know what I want the rest of my picks to be, pretty much. So we got Woody there as an advance rate piece, more than anything else. Hey, it's all good. Like, he's a good pick. He's a good pick. And you have to draft your best team for you, right? So we'll take Dalton Schultz there. And definitely going to take Terrence Ferguson on the way back around, I think. And then finish it out with two wide receivers. One of them probably has to be Jaden Higgins. And the other one probably has to be a Jaguar, I think. No. I think Higgins is the one that I require. Colby Parkinson's still here, though. And Bo Nix is still here. Kai just pushing it here. And I do think that, of course, Jaden Higgins goes. So all right, so we need that. We also just need a guy here. We'll take Mumfield. We basically needed that because of the Houston stuff that we put ourselves into. So we needed another option on the Rams as well. And yeah, I don't love this team. I'll be honest, I don't love this team at all. JSN, Adams, Parker Washington. We've not seen Travis Hunter like any, or not Travis Hunter, Diami Brown for at all, right? We'll take I think we need. Oh, we're gonna take Rome. All right, so the team, we have Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Blake Corum, Woody Marks, JSN, Devontae Adams, Parker Washington, Mumfield, Rome, Dalton Schultz, and Terrence Ferguson. And I was trying to build out a couple different ways, but this kind of turned into where it's Jacksonville has to get to the Super Bowl is kind of like, and it has to be against the Rams, right? Like that's what, like, that is what ended up happening based on what other people in the room were doing. I couldn't get the pieces I needed to select multiple pieces. I really needed Jaden Higgins to set this up. Honestly, I really needed him specifically to give myself multiple options there. So I have a path, but that is the only path we have. Like, because Brenton Strange went, it completely destroyed the entire integrity of what I was trying to do there. And then when Strange went, I was perfectly fine if I got Jaden Higgins on the way back around, and he ended up going to a team that was also just getting an advance rate piece. So I kind of got blocked twice there. Kind of ruined the entire draft for me. But we pivoted into an extra LA Rams piece. Looking at, I mean, I guess it could be Rams, Texans as well. That would work just fine as well. But basically, I have to have the Rams now instead of having multiple options there. We have Kai here. Didn't even take Bo Nix at the end. Caleb Williams, James Cook, RJ Harvey, Swift, Shakir, Franklin, Ladd, QJ, Burden, Williams, DeMario, and Loveland. Well, like, I agree with this, and I also agree that, like, I think you need a second quarterback generally. Like, if Caleb Williams has a game, and he does this because they're basically a running team, if he has a game that's a 15-point game throughout the play at any point through the playoffs, and they're going to play 4 games, if he has one game that's like 15 points, you're basically 0% to get to first. You need the quarterback. Like, you need 20 plus points from quarterback every week. So even if that is correct, and he is the play most of the way through, he has to smash all the way through the playoffs, specifically him, right? Adding Bo Nix to this would have just made it more secure on your floor. And with where Bo Nix went, which was he didn't, I think that the Douglas pick should have easily been Bo Nix there. Like, in my opinion, adding the floor to a single bad week with Caleb, although you are right, getting him all the way to the finals, like, adding that floor for the other 2 games to get, like, let's say they get to the championship game, like, that matters a lot. And if you go back to the beginning of the stream, we looked at like what worked last year, and it was Mahomes with Jaden Daniels. I know that's a bye week, but Jaden Daniels was the number one quarterback, I believe, the first 2 or 3 weeks, all of them. You needed him with the guy in the Super Bowl. And I think that drafting like you're correct is right, but you're also drafting so thin. Like, I don't think you should have 0 teams like this. But I do think that the bulk of them should have a second quarterback just to make sure that if that quarterback has a single bad game, you still rise to the top. That's my opinion, though. We got JMJR here. Clip that for when Pop puts up points. I mean, I do agree that, like, yes, Pop could put up the points. So could Kyle Williams, right? And they could put up points in the Super Bowl. And it could be a lot of points. Like, Kyle Williams could go for, because let's say if it's Pop or Damari or Kyle Williams, whichever one you want, right? Let's say one of them puts up 18 points in the Super Bowl, which is a really good score for the Super Bowl. If Caleb Williams is outscored by 10 to 15 points from most of the other quarterbacks, or whatever the optimal quarterback is, like, you're dead to win. Like, you can still win some money, but you're giving up so many points, especially when you already have the stacks on that side. Like, you already have 2 pieces. Like, you let a undrafted Denver all the way through. Like, I mean, Eagles did the same thing over here, but he was in on. He kind of got blocked, right? Like, he tried to push Stafford. I didn't allow that to happen. And some other things happened over there, right? So I get it. Like, but Bo Nix, like, and I don't like, I like this team if Bo Nix isn't available at 69 or 64. Like, I think that that's a almost have to click kind of thing, in my opinion. And like I said, I've been wrong many times. All right, so we got Losimo here, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Barkley, Jacobs, and Tootin, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Jacoby Myers, Kayshon Boutte, Jaden Reed, Hunter Henry, and Brenton Strange. Yeah, I like it. I like this quite a bit. And I would go back to the this. I would go back to the last year's rank, like the results. Whenever I went to look week by week at what people scored, like, it didn't load the week to week stuff. I didn't feel like putting up a extra screen to do all that, but we could. Like, I don't know what all the scores were in all the other weeks for everybody, but I'm nearly positive that Jaden Daniels was very close to the top guy every week. But you couldn't have him to get to the Super Bowl. But all of the top teams required that pick because he outscored the rest of them by enough that he needed to be there to give you the points to get the first. And with the top heavy format, I personally think that's something you need to do. Like, and for you to be right, you need Kyle Williams and DeMario both to have absolute smash picks, or like absolute smash weeks. Like, both of them have to. All right, so we got Josh Allen, we got Lamar Jackson, Ramondre, Derrick Henry, Ty Johnson. Wide receivers: Nico, Sutton, Watson, Cooks, Demarcus Robinson, Kittle, and Kincaid. So you got the Lamar Jackson there. Looks like it's just an advance rate piece. Get your points at whatever week. He was there super late. Why not? You have what's your Super Bowl? Okay, so yeah, he got second, and he had Daniel Hurts, and he lost to Mahomes Daniels. Yeah, and like every team, like the top 4 teams in the $3 last year, were all Mahomes, Daniels. And it's because you need, but like that's it's kind of a different argument as well. Like I will admit that, because Hurts and Mahomes had buys last year, right? So like you had to have somebody no matter what. And Caleb is going to play every week. But yeah. It's a Buffalo San Francisco Super Bowl. Yeah, I was trying to count it up. You have exactly enough pieces to get there. Yeah, I build teams like this. I don't like the teams when I build them like this, but as long as you got 5 players alive in the Super Bowl, you have a chance, right? Especially if you get a gigantic tier, like a buffer of points before the Super Bowl. All right, we're going to do another one. We're entering right now. Also had Dotson last year, who scored 6.5 points. Noah Gray, who scored 1.5-ish, and it was needed. Yeah, I'm not against the one quarterback teams like that at all. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing to do. I question it when Bo Nix was available with the last pick, is all. I think in that specific scenario, like, I will build teams like that. But if Bo Nix was there at the very end, I do think that, like, taking the security there makes some sense. And like, I'm actually very in on the Bears this year as well. We got brought at the 102. We have Lawsimo at the 103, 104. Lutz at the 105. I got the 106. And nobody clicked the I am ready button. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, so it's more about, like, so this is total points, right? It's all about if Caleb Williams isn't the top scoring quarterback every single week, you just gave up points if Bo Nix has a week where he's above him, right? Like, and Bo Nix is also known to run the ball and he's had a bunch of really big games. Yes, Bo Nix is there. It also allowed you into Super Bowls. If you didn't have Troy Franklin and RJ Harvey, I don't think I wouldn't be as strong with that. But in my opinion, taking Bo Nix, it helps you secure getting to the Super Bowl with Caleb Williams, which you built out for, with a chance to get to one stronger, because it means that Caleb Williams doesn't have to be the guy. And it also was going to be very unique because nobody's getting. That's the first time I've seen Bo Nix not drafted before, like, pick 40. So, like, I just think that in that scenario, like, I definitely wanted Bo Nix. That's just my opinion on it. And we're going to do the thing that we're going to do this. We're going to go James Cook and George Kittle. I don't know if I explained that well enough. But, like, let's say Caleb Williams in round 1 has 32 points. Round 2 has 22 points. And Bo Nix had 18 points. But round 3, Bo Nix has 32 points and Caleb has 20 points. That 12 points easily could win you the contest. Like, easily could win you the contest. The top teams were last year were separated by, I'll go bring it up again in a second if it lets me on the other screen. I'm going to the history on the other screen. It'll just take a minute to scroll down to it. All right, so this right here was the number one team last year. So it was 462 to 460 to 457. So like, if that scenario happened, that 12 points that Bo Nix would have got you would take you all the way from basically 12th to 1st, essentially, right? And you know, that's just a scenario. That's if he only outscores him a single week. It could be 2 weeks. Like, it's just setting up for the different scenarios, basically. So what quarterbacks do we have available? The first team that doesn't have Daniels there was, I think it was this team. Okay, it was this team right here who has Baker, who put up a really big score that first week as well. And then I believe there's some Hurts teams after that. Like, it's almost all, there's Hurts. But yeah, like, and getting a quarterback in this contest that is guaranteed to be there week 2, that's not the quarterback you're targeting, I think is like a very positive thing. Because you're already built out for the Bears to smash. Hopefully, like, I'm not trying to like be like, I don't know how I'm coming across. I'm trying to be helpful. I'm not sure if I'm being helpful. But I think that I just think in that specific scenario, the extra quarterback helps. Now, if you would have had to take Bo Nix at pick 40, I see the argument, and I may not do it myself either. All right, so we got James Cook to start as an advanced piece there, possible Super Bowl, and then we're building out the we're basically just building out a Super Bowl, right? Like, we're building out the Niners Super Bowl here without CMC. We got Kittle, we got Jennings, we got Purdy, we got Pearsall. Probably have a priority to make sure we get Brian Robinson on this team. I could just go full in on multiple other running backs on the AFC side, which I think is how I will approach it here and with this game script. We got Lutz here fully in on the Eagles. 4 Eagles to start, and then going AFC. So he's doing the same thing I'm doing with the first pick of what I'm doing. Being fully in there. But we'll see what he does. I don't love the Dalton Kincaid stuff, but like, I guess if he comes to me at 42, I do have to kind of take it. And definitely need another. So like, I think Woody Marks makes sense here. Just as an extra option on the AFC side. Since we're fully, like, if we just take 3 AFC running backs here, I think that we're very live to do whatever. One of them, the Troy Franklin, will have to be just an advanced rate piece at this point, though. So Kincaid does go. Kind of glad that Kincaid went there. We're going to take Christian Watson and Woody Marks. Oh, wrong window. My bad. It's almost like I've gotten bad at this. So we got Brock Purdy to Juwan Jennings, Pearsall, and Kittle. Running backs, James Cook, Woody Marks. So we have Super Bowls right there, right? And then a couple advanced rate pieces in Troy Franklin and Watson. Probably get one more tight end. We're just gonna, if the Niners win this weekend, we'll just throw this one up to the gods. And it's fine. It's fine if I lose. Now, if like a Knicks fell all the way down, or I can get I don't know, like, does CJ Stroud go already? Okay, if he makes it all the way down, like, I'm fine with that as well. So we could go with Tootin. We could go with Brian Robinson. I think I want to allow myself multiple options here. Do we do Ingram? Do we do Schultz? We're going to go ahead and do both of those. And then if Stroud makes it back around, we take Stroud. If Stroud doesn't make it around, we're fine. And then we will take Tootin, Brian Robinson, Jaleel McLaughlin, be okay. We could even take Kenneth Gainwell as well. I don't think the Steelers have much of a chance to get there, but it is an option on the board. And if Stroud does go, we'll probably just add a second, well, maybe Jordan Love or something, because the Jordan Love would actually get us into a Houston-Green Bay game, which I would not like. I would not feel very confident with that. I mean, I guess if Stroud goes, we'll pivot to taking Aaron Rodgers and Kenny Gainwell. I'm fully in on the Ravens winning that game. But this contest may be done by the time that drafts, right? Or by the time that that game is over. So I do think that taking a share here wouldn't be the worst decision. It wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be a good decision either. But if we don't get Stroud, I do think I want to build out the second quarterback with Aaron Rodgers there. And but yeah, this is going to be the last team I do. Then I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna go take trash out and do some other things. All right, yeah. So this is kind of what we want. So we do get Stroud back. We'll take Tootin for the extra Super Bowl there. So we got Brock Purdy, CJ Stroud, James Cook, Woody Marks, Bayshall, Tootin for Super Bowl matchups specifically. Then we got Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Troy Franklin, Christian Watson, Jaden Higgins, George Kittle, and Dalton Schultz. So we have Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and Kittle. And then, hold on a second. Yeah, so that's what we got. We basically got a Houston, San Francisco Super Bowl here. I think that's all I can build out, actually, because it's 2 wide receivers. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't a good draft. We'll see what Lutz has. Hurts, Herbert, Saquon, Omarion Hampton, Charbonnet, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Lad, Cooks. He's very in on Philadelphia and the Bills. A lot of these drafts he's been taking the Bills and the Eagles. And before we do, like, oh, they changed it on me. I had the odds up a little bit ago. Right, yeah. I enjoy it, but I definitely feel like I have better drafts whenever I'm not live. Sometimes I do think that every once in a while I can sneak a good one in. Like I didn't have a good draft. I messed up on my count here because I needed a flex piece. I didn't allow myself a flex piece unless I get the Houston Super Bowl, because I just have the starters here and then a piece. I didn't allow myself a flex piece. So the Troy Franklin or Watson piece absolutely needed to be something else. So for the most part in the Super Bowl, I'm X-1 piece. So I drafted very bad. We got Drake May, Sam Darnold here. Like that was a horrible draft for me. For sure. Like it basically zero chance. The last one I did yesterday was zero chance, which is one reason why I'm also going to leave after this draft to recoup. So we got Drake May, Sam Darnold, ETN, Kenneth Walker, Ramondre, Josh Jacobs. You got JSN, Diggs, Parker Washington, Jaden Reed, AJ Barner, and Austin Hooper. Yeah, so you got multiple. Yeah, you have enough pieces to get multiple Super Bowls there for sure. I like it. And then brought CMC, Kyron, and Henry, Trevor Lawrence, and Lamar. Wide receivers: Nico, Sutton, Jacoby, Flowers, DJ Moore, Colson, Loveland, and Andrews. So you got NFC side. CMC is just pure points to get to the Super Bowl. Same with Kyron. You pretty much only have a Chicago-Baltimore Super Bowl, right? Because your two wide receivers, your tight end, your flex, and then your other flex would be your tight end. Someone was smashing San Francisco picks way too early. Yeah. It happens. I mean, I was just wanting to build this out and then I screwed it up. So you're welcome. At least my draft's not good too. I think the solo CMC thing is perfectly fine. And I do think that this might be the worst thing we could do, because if San Francisco gets the 1 seed, they're going to fall, right? But this contest will be over by then. But anyway, I'll be back on tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Probably do a couple of these. Might look at some other stuff for the weekly stuff. I don't know what I'll be doing. But I'll see everybody then. Peace.